Hello friends, it's Simone. I'm here to swatch some inks. And if everything goes well, then I will be filming quite a few swatch videos. Not that that is of any interest to you, but I have projects planned for May and June. I will have visitors in June. There is going to be school break, summer break. In June, July, and August. And so I just want to get a head start on the videos so that I have some backup videos to share with you when I don't have time to film. And so I'm trying to film swatching videos because they are kind of timeless. These are 5 samples from Vanness. I really love ordering from their shop. I think I still have a code with them, which is Simone23 for 10% off your order. If that doesn't work, my friend Lorelei has a coupon code as well. That is Lorelei10. So if you're ordering from them, then just try and see if either one of them works. I love that they have such a huge selection of inks. I think the only inks that you can't really get from them is Sailor inks, which is okay. I try to not purchase anything or ink related at the moment because I have so many samples, and my goal is to get through the samples by the end of the year 2024. So that's why I need to swatch them. My fun ink project that I have planned is to use an ink from my sample box every day for the month of May and see how that goes. I'm not planning on filming videos every day, and this doesn't have anything to do with the swatching video, but I want to film a weekly video. We'll see how that goes. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll do something else. So I am swatching on mixed media paper. And in all of the videos that I shared recently, I said it's Artist Loft paper. It is not. It is Kaigan mixed media paper. I cut those cards myself. I have tools, and I am planning on filming a video about all the tools and things and papers that I use for all of the things that I do, so that I can have reference videos to reference people to if they have questions about the products that I'm using. I have my swatch book in this traveler's notebook. Let me come back once I've drawn the lines, because I need those. I can't use this without the lines. The notebook that I'm using is a Paper Penguin Co. 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. I think it's the old Tomoe River paper, and I use those for swatching. Okay, so what I'm swatching today are the 5 samples that I purchased at Vanness, I think in September of 2023. This is also a thing that I want to stop. I want to not purchase swatches, samples or inks or anything for that matter, and then put them in my drawer and not swatch them for 8 months. Maybe not that many. 6 months? This is just madness, pure madness. But what I'm going to share with you today, well, maybe I'm going to swatch this. This is a shimmer ink. Last, this is Vinta Lakbay. I have seen this swatch so many times on their site, and it always intrigues me, and so I decided I'm going to get this. I have and I purchased, the reason why I ordered these samples is because I wanted to try out some Pigment inks, permanent inks. And so I ordered 2 Rohrer and Klingner sketch inks, Lily and Frieda. And then I also ordered the Octopus Fluids Write and Draw inks, and one of them is Black Elephant and the other one is Gray Fox. So these 5 are from Vanness. And then at the San Francisco Pen Show 2023, I purchased these 2 Kobe inks, which I don't remember what their names are right now, so I guess I will have to check for that as well. And those are right here somewhere in this random notebook. Here. Nagasawa Kobe number 82, Maya Kaigan Apple Green, and Nagasawa Kobe number 47, Aotani Cascade Green. And I'm going to start with those. What else? Where is my... I feel like I haven't swatched in a while, and I think that is true. That's why everything is so... upside down, not organized, not structured. That's why. So maybe it's a good thing that I'm swatching, trying to film multiple swatching videos at the same day. And my goal is, or I think right now that my goal is to, well, I will be probably get some inks sent here and there, ink samples from friends here and there, but I don't want to collect them anymore and, you know, have them. I need a clip. Where's my clip? Where is my super suit? Right here. I don't want to have them sitting in my drawer for 9 months before I swatch them. I want to reduce the amount of ink samples that I have. Not because they overwhelm me, but because I feel like I'm ready to move on to something else. I don't know what the something else is yet, but I feel like I'm ready. Whatever the other thing is, whatever the ready is, I don't know when you're going to see this video, but you will find out. I put the ink name on here as well, so that's smart. Simone, you're so smart. Maya Kaigan Apple Green. Let's see if I can remember. I don't know what the something else is. I'm going to give myself, well, I can change things any day of the year. There is no need to Kobe. Let me just write first. So Kobe number 82. Interesting. Maya Kaigan. Apple green. This confuses me right now. Maybe I need to clean my... Let's see how it works with the other BC. With the other inks, but maybe I need to use a small amount of dish soap and just clean my nib. It feels like it's resisting. Oh my goodness, what is happening here? Cat attack. Sorry. I'm going to open the window for him and I'll be right back. So, here's my thoughts. I am kind of sick of inking up 10 pens or however many pens every month and then using them. I want change, and maybe this is the same thing that happened to me last year with my planners. I want to change. Could be. I'm totally aware of that, but with a planner, I'm changing a whole book system, maybe even. But with my pens and inks, I'm not hurting anyone, not even my wallet, if I change things up. And so I am planning to do that basically ASAP. That means that starting May 1st, I'm going to do things differently. So I will be inking up one pen every day. I will pull from my sample box. I think I said it in another video. I probably will have to do, if I wanted to, Kobe number 82, Maya, Kaigan, apple, green. If I wanted to, I would have to do this or use a sample 150 days, 128, I'm not sure. That's also a reason why I would love to swatch all of the inks, so I know the number of ink samples that I have, so I can actually develop a game plan. But yeah, I'm going to switch things up in May. I want to do an ink per day for the whole month. And then I also have been thinking about what if I ink 3 pens every week and then just don't fill them all the way or stuff like that. I'm super open to all ideas that come to my mind. I want to experiment, and I want to just be open and not trap myself in some random, arbitrary rules that aren't necessary. Or maybe they helped me in the past, but not helped me anymore. And so that's where my thought process is going. I would love to hear from you. If you're one of those that are inking monthly, are you just inking arbitrarily? Is that even randomly? Whenever, no rules, no nothing. That is also totally valid. I don't think there is a right or wrong way to use your inks and your pens. Do you use samples? Do you use, you know what I find super fascinating here? Did you see how this kind of, I see blue. Sometimes when I look weirdly at this ink, I see ultramarine blue at the bottom right here. Maybe you see that too. It's a much bluer in your, on the screen that I see right here. It's a little bit more green in real life. But oh my gosh, this ink seems to be very fascinating. So yeah, I'm ready for some change. I'm ready for, I don't feel like I'm ready for completely going off into the no rules. I like having rules. They help me feel grounded and settled most of the time. So I do want to establish some other rules that will help me use and enjoy my fountain pens differently. And I've given myself a lot of time. So this is Kobe number. This is much better here. So maybe this ink is just dry. I will figure it out. Aotani Cascade. Is this Aotani or Aotami? It's an N. Yeah, so I have so many ink bottles at the moment. At the time of filming, I think I have 50. I don't know. I will have to pull out my ink journal if you want to know. Do you want to know? Is that something that interests you? Do you want to spend more time? See, here, what is this? I really like this ink. I have been very much enjoying Kobe inks. They feel better behaved than many of the Sailor inks, which is weird because I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Kobe inks are produced by Sailor. But maybe I have only used more saturated inks that are not as prone to being dry. I don't know. Cascade green. This is a really beautiful ink. So bold, so bright. If I have the opportunity, and I'm still there on Sunday at the San Francisco Pen Show, they sell 2 bottles for the price of 1. So buy one, get one free. This is how I got these as well. But the selection is, of course, much smaller than it was previously. So if I can find some inks that I like and that I would like to add to my collection, I'm not opposed to buying another 2 bottles. Totally not. And then these ones are all besides the Vinta Lakbay, these are all pigmented inks, permanent inks, and those will not go into my Project Ink Down box because I use those exclusively in my everyday carry pen, basically. This is the one that I use in my creative journal because I also watercolor in there, and so I want a permanent ink. And I've been thinking about switching up colors, not using stark black. So here is De Atramentis Document Brown mixed with De Atramentis Document Black, because I have noticed that I don't necessarily enjoy the brown. So I don't know if this experiment with these 4 inks is already off to a bad start, because I am really digging the stark black at the moment again. So let's start and see how this is going to go. And well, if I know that I probably won't be using them, then I might just pass it along right away. Yeah, I'm rusty, so I shouldn't have these cards underneath. Oh wow, this is nice and dark. The reason why I've been on the hunt for another pigment ink that is not platinum carbon black is because platinum carbon black is very hard to clean. And what I mean by that is that when I'm really bad at cleaning out inks, which then, I mean, that's my own fault, but it sort of sticks to the nib. Let's see if I can clean this off and if there's still some stuff on there. No, I was able to get it off. No, right here. No, maybe I was able to clean it. It feels like when I have, you can see it under here, it's super black. When I use platinum carbon black, the nib coats similarly to, I have carbon black in here. It's not as visible right now. The nib coats similar to like a nail polish, and you could scrape it off the nib. And I'm wondering if that is, I don't think I had the same problem when I used De Atramentis Document Black. So I'm just looking for an alternative to the platinum carbon black that I can have in a fountain pen for a while. I'm not opposed to cleaning it out, but if I have a fill in there and it takes me 2 months to use it up and then the pen is empty and then I clean it thoroughly, I would love for the pen to not have to like you have to remove the black basically from the nib and other parts. But this is definitely Octopus, very wet. I have found that a lot of these are very wet. I feel like Platinum Carbon Black is pretty wet. I found Document Black from De Atramentis was really wet. So maybe that's a pigment ink thing. If you have more experience than I do, please let me know in the comments down below. Oh my goodness, I forgot it again. But this feels very similar to Platinum Carbon Black actually. So I think I actually want to clean this out, and so I'm very excited to Octopus. Write and draw. Black Elephant. What really draws me to the Octopus Write and Draw ink is that they have such cute animal names. But you can see, so I did not clean the nib, and you can see how differently these write. I try to hold my pen, my nib, at a similar angle when I write. It's not that much different. The only time that I really am aware and consciously have different angles is when I draw these lines. But this ink with the nib struggled to write, and here it put down quite a broad stroke. So maybe this is an ink that would do better in a wetter pen. If you have used this ink, let me know if my thoughts are correct. And yeah, if you have used Octopus Write and Draw inks and are able to compare how they compare to Platinum Carbon Black and even De Atramentis Document Black, I would love to hear. I'm currently not on the lookout for colored document inks, just because I don't feel like this brown experiment went too well. So I'm currently going back to the black, but I would love to hear your thoughts on the Write and Draw Black Elephant, the De Atramentis Document Black, and the Platinum Carbon Black. Which one is still your go-to if you use permanent inks, and why? And I also thought that, especially when I'm using the TWSBI, it's how expensive is it? Around 60 bucks. It's not such an expensive pen that I really totally have to be able to clean off the black from the nib, especially on areas where it's not obstructing the writing experience. I really like this color though. To me, this has green undertones. Can you see? Do you see that too? Probably not. Maybe my eyes are weird today. My husband is working and in a phone call, and it's really loud. I need to go upstairs and close the door. Octopus, poor Octopus, Write and Draw. So I think for me, with how I'm experiencing these pigment inks right now, I don't think I will purchase bottles of colored inks, but I'm super interested in adding one of these other ones to bottles of the black, just so that I have an alternative. So Platinum Carbon Black doesn't really, I don't really mind using it in here, but if I have a gold nib pen, that I would love to use as an everyday carry pen, then I feel like I would love to be able to have it clean more easily, no, not more easier, more easily. It's also, I don't think that's correct. If you're a grammar expert, let me know. What I'm confused about is the fact that this is called gray, but I feel like that the De Atramentis, I think is a document gray, is also more blue than Octopus, Write and Draw, Gray Fox. But the question is, why are they calling this fox when clearly this is gray? And foxes in my book are rather reddish brown than gray. Weird name choice, but I mean Black Elephant. Maybe they just put together names that sounded nice. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about these colors here. I wish I was someone who would want to change the colors in their journals, but I don't seem to be someone. What I noticed with the Rohrer and Klingner compared to the Octopus Write and Draw, when I pulled them out of the bag, I already agitated, but you can see it right here. It seems like the pigment settles down more. Right here, there is some orange here, and there was green in one. So that might be a consideration, because if you're not using it often enough, the pigment might settle in your converter as well, and you might have to agitate that before you use it. I know there's been talk about, oh, maybe they're producing inks for one another. I know that when I did some research, this is definitely an amazingly swampy color. I know that Rohrer and Klingner, if I'm not mistaken, and it's back. I didn't do it right now, the research. So when I did research on their website, I think Rohrer and Klingner is a company that operates out of Leipzig. And it seemed to me that they were an old family business. So I don't think that, for instance, Octopus is producing inks for Rohrer and Klingner. I know that Octopus Fluids is in Dresden, which is actually where I lived for quite a while I was at uni. But I know that they do inks for some other companies. I'm not sure about Pelikan or parts of Pelikan inks, but I think Schneider. I'm going to do R&K sketch, and this is Lily, I think, Lilly. This is a beautiful swampy color. I can see myself, and it looks very bold compared to this, and I'm wondering if this is just because I have it in that nib that it's so light. I hope you can see this up here. I just want a bold writing experience, and if it's like this, I don't enjoy it. If this ink came out of this pen just like it came off the nib right here, then I think I would enjoy it more. And I'm wondering, currently I'm also thinking about nib Meister appointments. So I have a pen. It's a Platinum 3776 in broad that I would like to have ground similarly to the nib on here. So this is a reverse architect with, I think it was ground to an ultra extra fine. I don't think I would like to have an ultra extra fine, maybe just a tiny bit finer than an extra fine. And then the reverse side, so the right side is the really almost needle point, maybe it's even a needle point, and this side is an architect. But I don't know what has changed, but I'm not enjoying the sharp edges of the architect anymore, and so I want to explore other options. I would love to have a pen that can write really fine, but also can write titles. And so I know that Kirk Spear has something that I think he's called the Spear Point, and that might be something that I'm interested in. I also have received, and I'm going to share an unboxing new Nib Day video, a birthday present from my friend Shauna, who is Serial Nana here on Instagram. Yes, on Instagram as well, but also on YouTube. And I really like how that writes, and it's very smooth. It's super cool. It's a zoom nib, and I wish there was something like that, and maybe there is, but I just haven't really invested a lot of research into that option. I wish there was something like a reverse zoom nib, so that the majority of the writing that I do in my journal is, in my creative journal, is definitely with the finer nib. But for the bolder titles, I would love to have that zoom nib experience on the other side. And I feel like it's probably totally wrong and people might feel offended. I feel like a zoom nib is very similar to a smooth architect nib. Plus, it has the benefit that when you hold it at different angles, it gives you different line widths. But for me, if you hold your pen up like here and it gives you a really fine line, that is not very comfortable for journaling for me. So I wish there was something like that. And I'm probably, the more that I talk about this right here, the more that I'm intrigued with this, and I might just reach out to Kirk, Frieda, and ask if he would be able to do something like that, or if he has a nib that, and I just haven't found it yet and don't know the name. So that's something that I'm thinking about. Sketch ink. And this is Frieda. And just in case you were ever wondering how this is pronounced, I can explain this to you in a second when I'm done with writing, because otherwise I can't do the writing bit. It's FR, of course, and then the I and E are together as one sound. The E is making the I sound, and that is an E in German, longer. So it's not Frieda, it's Frieda. Just in case you were wondering. Another thing that I'm noticing is that the Rohrer and Klingner sketch inks seem to be matte when they dry. The Octopus Write and Draw inks seem to be shiny. I will hold up the journal when I'm done, and then we can look at it from different angles so you can see what I'm talking about. Ugh, I dropped some drops right here. I was just going to come here and say I can see the pigment on the nib, but I don't see any. So, but I can see the pigment on the thing here. So last one is not a pigment ink. This is just a regular ink. And I think it falls under the Too Light and Shimmer for Simone. So I recently removed all of the lighter chromo shading inks from my ink down box because I decided that I'm not going to put myself through the struggle over and over again. Yeah, look at how light this is. I wonder if you have used this. Let me know in what pen it worked, because I want to make an exception for this ink and use it in a pen. Because I just love the, is this bronze or pink shimmer? I just love how the shimmer makes this ink look dirty, but also very interesting. And I just want to use it. Maybe I'll just use it in a palette parallel then, because I know that those are fantastic with these lighter inks and shimmer. It's like the rescue anchor for me for all of those inks that I like, but I just can't really use because they're so illegible, anger-inducing when they don't work and clog the pen, high maintenance, and I just cannot be bothered. I really just want my pens to write. And so if you have used it in a pen successfully, please let me know what pen it was so I can follow suit and try the same. But if you have bad experiences, let me know as well so I can be prepared. Can you see what a difference this is? How broad those inks wrote and how it also feels different when I'm writing. When I wrote with all four of those, it felt like butter. But when I'm writing with this right now, it feels really scratchy and hard to write. I'm basically feeling like I'm ripping the paper apart, which is sad, but not unexpected because it's a light blue ink, and I feel like this happens with light blue inks all the time, plus a shimmer ink, so I just couldn't resist this ink. I wanted to see what it looks like in a swatch. Alrighty. Okay, so I am finished with this, and it probably took forever. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on these pigment inks, these four in the middle right here. If you've used any of them, let me know how they clean out of a pen. I believe that I would have good writing experiences with any of those inks in the pens that I'm aiming for, but I'm concerned about the cleaning. And if you're using pigmented inks, how often do you clean the pens when you have them in there? You know, you use this pen all the time and you don't change the ink. You just basically refill. How often do you clean your pens? So this is not dry just yet. It's just so, look at this. It's just so lovely, don't you think? What are your thoughts on this ink? This is a no-go Simone ink for sure. Like, yeah, absolutely. The interesting thing about the Gray Fox and the Frieda, both are kind of blue, but this one has more of a greenish tint to it. More yellow in the blue. Oh, I hope you can see that. And they are shiny. So let me hold up the book for you so you can look at it from different angles. Let me see if... Nah. So these two are fairly shiny and these are fairly flat. I also wonder... Well, I don't really need shading in my pens, I believe, when I'm using them in my creative journal. there's so much going on the page that I don't need the added distraction of shading. So I'm not necessarily looking for, you know, a very interesting ink, but this one is fascinating actually. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to using those in my pens, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.